Hey, beautifully creative. Let's recreate that look from last night. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my UnderSense and my LashSense in my cleavage or in a pocket or under my leg, and we want to warm it up. Why do we want to warm it up? Well, it has carnauba wax in it, as most of our mascaras do, like in the world, just in general, and you want to get that nice and warm, at least to body temperature, so that it goes on more smoothly. Now, you might notice that I don't have anything on my face foundation or CCTM wise. I do have silk on, and as I'm letting the silk set, I go and do the rest of my makeup look. I just like to clean everything up with my foundation or my CCTM when I'm all done. So if I do make any mistakes, I can easily fix them if I go too far out, things like that. So that's just how I do this. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take that copper rose and I'm going to use it as my base, but you're also going to see it up here by my brows. So I'm going to take it straight from the wand and I'm just going to give myself a little bit on both sides, not pretty in any way, shape, or form, and I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to pat it in and smooth it out. Already you could see the color of my eyelids and all the little I hate this word, but veins and any discoloration that I have in my eyelid is becoming one color, and it's also creating a nice base for me to lay my other colors to give them their true pigment whenever I go to place them. You don't have to be like, you know, super perfect with this. You just want to make sure it's in a nice thin layer covering your entire lid. All right, now I'm gonna do my eyebrows because I don't do those very often for you guys. And I have been using the BlushSense, but I have not fallen in love with either color that I have. And I have, let's see here, what do I have? I have the deep brown, which is very dark, and it's very close to my eyebrows, but it just looks a little too dark on me for my liking. And then I have the medium brown, which gives me much warmer tone. And I think the problem I'm having is because I have the two different color hair, it's hard for me to find the in-between that I'm most comfortable with. But I'm still using Smoked Topaz for the moment. That's my go-to. It has been the ShadowSense Smoked Topaz, so that's what I am going to continue to go with to show you guys today. I think I need to get, I think it's called Granite. I think Granite is, and I keep forgetting to add it whenever I go to do an order, but I need to like just put it in my cart so it's there and then I will have it. But for now, here we go. I was looking for oh, here's the little one from SeneGence that comes with the brow kit, which is actually quite a nice brush. But I just give them a quick brush up, and I recently cut, if you could see, because they've been growing like crazy with using the BlushSense gel, that I just kind of did this, like pushed them up as far, and then there was like all these long hairs and I just trimmed. So it's actually making it a lot easier for me to go ahead and do my filling in. But you'll see this is a mess. Why is it a mess? Because I took the stopper out. Why did I take the stopper out? Because there is so much more product left in your tube of ShadowSense or LipSense or anything that has a stopper in it. When you pull it out, it's not top secret. It is just, there's so much more product in there. I was running low. You can see I am definitely not running low. There is still tons of product in here. So if you are running low on your favorite ShadowSense or your favorite LipSense, pull the stopper out. You can do it with pliers. Look in here to see if I have like cuticle scissors. I've stuck them in and held it, like pulled them apart and pulled it out. I'll come on live and show you guys one time when I have to pull a stopper out so you can see. But the way I've been doing my brows lately is I've been starting from filling in the end first, because that's what I want. And I'm just looking in the mirror right behind you. That's the part that I want to be most deep. So I do both sides so that I can make sure that I am kind of in the same vicinity. Then I meet them on the bottom And then with what is left, which is still a ton of product, I just go ahead and fill in the spots, excuse me, that I would like to have filled in. And then at the very end, I just take and flick up, like actually holding my brush flat like this, just to give some dimension in the front of my brows, but without filling. I want them to be like a little see-through. I actually need a tiny bit more product right there, a little bald spot. There we go. And looks like I went a little more defined on the other side, so I will come back and make sure that it's matching enough, right? It's kind of hard to make them match perfectly, and perfect is boring anyway. All right, so after I do that, I let that set. While that is setting, I'm going to move on to the next part of my eyes, which is going to be the Caramelized Shimmer, and I am going to do this in the outer V, and with a, let's see what kind of brush I want to use for this. I think I'm going to use a more dense, smaller brush so it can be pretty accurate as to where I'm placing it. So I'm going to start by making a V pretty big, and the reason I make mine pretty big is because I do have semi-hooded eyes, and I want to make sure that you're seeing the product up above as well as down below if I look down, you know. So I'm going to just start tapping it and moving it where I want it to be, and I'm concentrating on the outer edge first. And then you can see that's a decent amount of product. And I also take this under my eye and smoke it out. Excuse me. So I'm going to do that with what I have left on my brush. Another reason why I don't do my foundation or concealer or anything like that until after, because sometimes I come pretty low here just to get the color that I'm looking for, and I just use my concealer to clean it up. So I did go and follow that line all the way in my crease, and I'm going to smoke that out just a little more. Now I'm going to take a fluffy brush that doesn't have anything on it, and I'm going to soften that line up top because it's a little drastic up there and out here, and I don't really necessarily want it to look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and I'll catch you right back. Okay, here's where I am so far, and I will say that looking at you in the camera and looking in the mirror definitely are two different things. So I'm going to make sure that it looks good to you as it does in the mirror, and I'm just going to give this a little more definition because I think I went a little smokier last night, and we want to try to recreate that look. Okay. I feel like there's a little more on the right side, my right side, than my left, so I'm just gonna deepen that spot right there. Now I gotta deepen that spot there. Okay. But you can continue to do that. You can continue to play. And honestly, I don't like any of my shadow looks until I add my lashes. Even my husband will be like, what's wrong with your eye look? Well, I didn't put my mascara on yet. Okay, so the final step, well, not the final step, but the last ShadowSense color that I'm going to use is that gorgeous, it's so pretty, the Glazed glitter. And this glitter, I know I've probably told some of you like, oh, stay away from the glitters. Well, some of the glitters fall out. They do, because the glitter like the ShadowSense dries and then it falls out. But this, I haven't had any fallout issues, meaning I'm not seeing glitter down on my cheeks or like all over my face. This glitter has been staying put. So with the glitter, I am going to I scooped it off of my spoolie onto a flat brush, and I am going to tap it on. And what I do is I tap it, because I'm slightly hooded, I tap it here and then I look up, because it's going to actually put it where, I don't know if you could see that, where it needs to be on my lid in order for other people to see it when my eyes are open. So I look up and then I could see I actually need to migrate up into my crease a little bit so that other people can see it when I'm looking forward. So that's a great tip for people that have hooded eyes. When you are applying your color and you want it to be seen when you're looking straight forward, you just look up after you apply it, and since it's wet, it's going to transfer to where your actual line of sight is when your eyes are open. And do the same on the other side. You just want to tap shimmers and glitters, unless you really want to go for an effect that is blended. But if you want the most pigment out of them, just to give them a tap. And I just like to make sure that nothing is lying in that crease, because my hoods like to hold goodies for later. All right, be right back. So while I'm letting all of this do its stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and take care of my face. And I wanted to show you, and I was really hoping that my new concealers were here, but they are not. So we're just going to go ahead with what I have. And it's the same formula, and it's fantastic. But still having some effects from being sick all month long. Some issues with my skin, and I wanted to show you how nicely the green concealer takes care of that. And I'm sure I put way too much on this cap here to go ahead and dip into and do some coverage. So I'm going to take, let's see, what do I want to use? I'm going to use a brush to do this. Just a fluffy brush, because you don't really need a whole lot. And I'm just going to go over my redness with the green, because on the color wheel, green is opposite of red, so it cancels it out. But yeah, I have been dealing with some redness. Thanks, COVID. And blowing my nose like 3,000 times a day. So that probably looks a little bit intimidating, right? But once you put, and I'm going to actually use the foundation today because I am looking for a little more coverage and a little less Dawn of the Dead. Once you put that over top of the green disappears and you are left with a pretty canvas again. I'm trying to decide. I don't think I need it. Up in, I think I'll leave my forehead alone. All right. And then I'm gonna keep you here and show you. I do still use the hydrating spray to wet my beauty blender. I'm sad that it's leaving. And I do still use a beauty blender to put on my foundation, and I'm going to put it straight on my beauty blender, and then I'm going to tap it around. The green is going away. You don't actually want to take your foundation all the way up into under your eyes, like where you would put your concealer, because that just puts too much product there. And you're going to use if you're going to use a different product there, then you don't want to have layers and layers of product there. It's just going to weigh you down. And it's more product that has a chance of getting stuck in your lines. Okay, So I know I look a little ghastly right now, so we're gonna fix that, and we're gonna do that with what I used last night, which is I used deep contour from the Duo, but I mixed it with medium highlight because I'm a mixer and a matcher. So I have those two products here, and I'm going to show you quickly where I place my contour and highlights, and then I'm going to go off camera and finish it for you. So I'll do one side. I'll do one side so you can see the difference. Okay, I took the stopper out of that too. Okay, so I'm just going to put like this little line right there, and I'm going to go up toward my ear. So where is this actually? Well, here's my cheekbone, like the height of my cheekbone. I'm going right under it. I'm not going all the way down here because that's unnecessary to do all of that. So I'm going to blend that in well, and already you could see look a little thinner on that side. Okay, so then I'm going to take a little bit and do a tiny bit. I like to fill in what I call my widow's peaks, I guess, and just blend it into what's down here like this. Okay, and then I do my jawline. And really blend that out because there's nothing like having a nice ruddy spot right there. I will show you that I also, when I contour my chin, I go under and a tiny bit over, and I do like a circular motion to really get that blended in, and I go down my neck a little bit. Okay, I'll show you my nose and then where to highlight. So I go down my nose on both sides. All right, I'm already sucked in a little bit on this side. Okay, now I'll show you where I highlight, and then we'll scoot over to the other side. Okay, before I highlight, I do want to show you my blush placement. This just allows me to know where to put my highlight. So I take a tiny, I'm using Cherry BlushSense, and that is way too much. It's enough for both sides, and I am going to give it a little bit of pearlizer. Makes blending it on the face easier. Little tiny dot of pearlizer. I'm going to pick a little bit of both up on my hand or on my finger, and I want the blush way up high. Okay, I'm actually going to take what I used to do my contour, and I'm going to blend that in. Now with my highlighter stick, which is, or highlighter tube, this is medium highlight, I'm going to do right in my eye, and then I'm going to shoot it up and lift. And I really like to use my finger for this. It allows me to decide where I want it to go better. And here is where I will clean up what is under my eye and too far out on my eye. And that's how I make my nice sharp shape up my eye, lifting it. And now my shadow doesn't look crazy. Or maybe it does. The other places I would use this would be right here in the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose. Sometimes I do the top of my Cupid's bow, but I haven't been doing that recently, so I'm gonna skip it today. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna do the other side and balance myself out. Okay, the next step I did with this look is called Tightlining, the waterline. And I did this eye already, so I'm going to show you how I do that. You don't have to worry about messing up your ShadowSense because it is set now. I take my upper lash line and hold it up and tightline, get the pencil liner. This is black brown up against those lashes on the inside of the waterline. That adds drama to your lashes when you go and put your mascara on, and it also gives you more eye real estate, yeah. If you have hooded eyes or slightly hooded eyes like me, I have always done my liner over top, and it's still a look that I like. But if you're looking to have more space on your eyes, you want to tightline, and it'll still give you that eye-lined look without taking up any of your eyelid space. All right, so now I'm gonna curl my lashes. And I honestly have to curl my lashes because they are longer from using our LashSense and our UnderSense from the Capixel in it. And if I don't curl them, then they kind of go like straight out. I'm not really sure why they do that, but I have been curling them. You want to walk your eyelash curler up. I don't know if you know that. I didn't for a long time. And I like this eyelash curler. I know some of you got this eyelash curler from me. But I have this one that I absolutely adore from Christmas. And I lost it. I'm going to have to order another one from Amazon. Okay, so remember I was warming this up. I'm going to take out my UnderSense. And I'm going to take the majority of it off. I really just want a thin layer of this on my lashes. I'm going to do a wiggle at the base and lift up. I actually don't put this on my bottom lashes. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. I'll be back. But I just grabbed my brown, or my black brown waterproof LashSense. And I'm going to go ahead over, wiggle at the base, and go over my LashSense, or UnderSense. Sorry, words are still a little difficult for me after this month of illness. And cover that. I'm going to do all my lashes, and I'll be back and we'll put on a lippy. Okay, lashes are done, and boy, do they make a difference. So I'm going to move on to the lips and make sure that they are clean and dry. Yeah, I figured there was probably some foundation or something on my lips, so cleaning them up. And last night I used Sheer Red, which is a gorgeous color. And then I went back into to see if it was still in stock, and it is not. So today I'm going to do Fire. Shake that little ball you hear in there, get it going. Because it's very similar, not super similar, no, it's similar to Sheer Red, but I wanted to use all products that are available for you to purchase right now. So I'm switching out the Sheer Red and going with Fire. It's one of my favorites, actually. So you want to take the wand and take the majority of the product off, and you want to go in one direction. You don't want to go back and forth like a lip gloss. It's like a dry erase board. It will erase it right off. So one direction. So when I do my Cupid's bow and my lips this way, I go one way this way, one way that way, and then you'll see me go across the waterline. That's where you get the most wear and tear. I'm not actually going back over top of, I'm not going back and forth, so I know it looks confusing. And once you get the hang of it, you can get away with a little bit of leeway with the LipSense. So I'm going to start on the bottom. You want to go deep into your corners as well, because that gets a lot of wear as well. Don't put your lips together. Okay, that's one layer. Give it a couple seconds to dry. Go back in with layer 2. Couple more seconds to dry. One more layer. And then we can top it with our glossy. And to hit that spot off of it. This is hard to do in a camera. Hit that spot up top there, and then I will seal it in with glossy. So that's dry. There we go. Hit the waterline one more time. Let that really dry. And that's that. I am good for 4 to 18 hours of non-budging LipSense, and I am good to not lose any of my other makeup throughout the day either. And this is a quick tutorial on what my look was last night. Let me know if you have any questions.